I got my Amiga in 1991 for Christmas. It came with the Cartoon Classics pack, which came with Electronic Arts' Deluxe Paint 3. Bet people out there have forgotten that EA did that. More on that on another week. Captain Planet and the Planeteers from Mindscape, and Acclaim's Bart vs the Space Mutants. And they'll probably get videos themselves at a later time, but today I want to talk about the third game I got, which would also be the first game I ever played on my personal Amiga. And that was Psygnosis' 1991 smash hit, Lemmings. Now, if you don't know what Lemmings is, then your realtor must be great, because the cave you've been living in is well out of the way. I don't think there is a gamer out there who doesn't know Lemmings or who hasn't played Lemmings. For those of you who have just come blinking out of your caves into the bright light and learned about the end of the Cold War and the death of Saddam Hussein and an awful sitcom called Friends, Lemmings puts you in the role of guiding a group of these little chappies through certain dangers and traps and whatnot with a few skills. And they were things like you could build a bridge, you could go through a wall, you could dig down, like vertical drop, bump like that, or you could mine down on an angle. You could also climb. My personal favourite was exploding. And of course you had them where you could make them stand still and block. Have a look for yourself. This is me playing the early levels of Lemmings. Tiddles, what you doing? You enjoying yourself? Right. So yeah, that's the early ones. They're the fun levels. And in my experience with Lemmings, it tends to go from being a lot of fun to quite quickly. They get really hard really quickly, I find. Now, I've talked a lot in the past about how I've gone back to games that I've never played for years, and I play them now and I'm not very good at, and Lemmings is one of them. But this isn't a game I haven't touched for 10 or 20 years. This is a game I've not touched for a good 3 or 4 years. And I know it's easy for me to say, but harder for you to believe. I have completed Lemmings. There's not a lot of games I've completed. You know, for someone who's been playing computer games for 35 years, I can honestly say there aren't that many games I've completed, but Lemmings is one of them. And I didn't do it all on my own. I had my friend Dave to help, because as those of you who played Lemmings know, you got the little code for each level. And me and Dave used to sort of persevere through the levels and see how far we could get. Sometimes on our own, sometimes together. Hell, I can remember him ringing me up once at school and saying, "Are you coming home this weekend?" And I've said, "I am." And he's gone, "Well, I can't get past level on taxing. I need your help." And we've spent more than once, probably a handful of times, an entire weekend trying to crack one level. There are people that can speedrun it, and that's brilliant, but I'm not one of them. Lemmings was all about the challenge for me. It was all about sitting down in front of the screen, staring at it and going, I will save those little chappies. But sometimes it wasn't enough for you to just save them for me. Because as you'll know, you had certain levels where you had to get a percentage. Like, I don't know, you have 100 lemmings, you've got to save 75%, so you've got to save 75 lemmings. And I do the 75, so just scraping through, and I think, no, I can do better than that, and I'd keep going back to this same level. I don't remember, I mean, this isn't just one specific level, this is more than one. trying to complete it and just trying over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. I mean, there were sequels to Lemmings as well. Lemmings 2, which I wasn't a fan of. All New World of Lemmings. But the sequel that people may not be aware of... No, I lie. That's the wrong words. People will know about it, but they won't know one little fun fact about it. I wouldn't say fun. Was Oh No, More Lemmings, which was originally released as an expansion disc. And we got it just after I got my Amiga. Actually, we probably got it just as it came out, because it was early 92 when I got Oh No More Lemmings. I remember it because... Yes, it's time for a little story. Those of you who were at boarding school with me, and I know that a couple of my regular viewers were at school with me, may remember the great flu pandemic of early 1992, and I mean, this was unbelievable. It knocked most of our school off its feet for nearly a month, and I'd gone home for the weekend. I got home for one weekend and complained of feeling ill, and my mum was like, "Oh yeah, swinging the lead," sent me back to school. I was back on halls on the Monday. I think I only went to school that Monday morning. Spent the rest of the week in bed on halls. My dad picked me up on the Friday. What's this to do with Lemmings? I am getting there. I was really ill because I'm asthmatic, so it really, really, really knocked me off my feet. So I had the next week off school. The downside of it was that my mum and dad got the flu as well. Both my parents worked, and still do. And we spent all week playing Oh No More Lemmings downstairs. We had the Amiga downstairs on the big telly in the living room. And we spent all week playing this game. And and you shouldn't have happy memories of having the bloody flu, but I do, and my mum thinks it's quite funny that I say this, but I just remember them playing this bloody game all week, and even my grandparents coming round to visit on the Wednesday, when to be honest, my dad was getting better, because my dad went back to work, and even my grandparents that are in their 70s, particularly my granddad, interested in what was going on and having a go on Lemmings himself, and it's brilliant. But the thing I wanted to say about Oh No More Lemmings was, did you know it wasn't play tested? It wasn't. It was not play tested fully, because some of those levels are impossible. Maybe on subsequent releases, I don't know, on the PC or updated versions, they fixed it, but on the original Amiga release that I had, which was the first batch from whenever it was, early 1992, there were levels that could not be completed. And yeah, that always struck me as odd. As a naive 15-year-old, I always thought, well, they're releasing a game, so surely it's been tested thoroughly and people, have made sure that this game can be played properly. And, will you be able to complete it? Nope. No, not a chance. I didn't play it that much. I lie. I played it a lot. But I always used to go back to the original Lemmings. And recording the footage you've seen before, I recorded that on Saturday. It's the Monday now. And I just really enjoyed it. I sat there and I got engrossed. I only wanted to do I was only intended to do like the first 4 or 5 levels. I ended up doing, I think, the first 13 or 14. And I'll show you the full video on my channel. And I might continue playing it and put them up. I know I say that all the time, but it's having the time to do it. But the version I had for the Amiga of Lemmings was on one disc. So I didn't know there was a little intro cartoon. No, I really didn't. I didn't know that there was this little cartoon. which looks something like this. I remember the first time I saw that. It was my friend Asher, who I mentioned, I think, in previous videos, because he had an Amiga and I shared a room with him. And I remember watching this intro for the first time ever, because, again, being a smart-ass 15-year-old, you said, there's an intro, there's not. I've not got an intro. Because he said it was on 2 discs, and I was all smug, mine's on 1 disc. And then I played this one on his, and it was like, oh, shit, there's this intro. And I've actually been a bit miffed, because I like that little intro. I do like the music. I think it's March of the Mods. Dun 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 dun. And Lemmings is always going to have a special place for me, because it's one of those games that you will play and it will stay with you, but you can play it with your friends. Like I said, I played it with Dave. We would sit and try to do levels together. But you also had the 2-player mode, where you had, you could, as well as trying to get your little guys to the exit, you could also thwart the other little guys. And you'd make all good intentions. You'd say, oh, I promise I won't do this, I promise I won't do this. But you would, because you were a swine. Because that's what you do when you're a kid. You just go to outdo the next one. We are a strange bunch, children, aren't we? And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Lemmings. Oh god, it just makes me giggle when I just hear in my head. But I say that's it. It's probably more. To this day, with David, with Sarah, with other people I know who have played Lemmings, if we're going to do something, you'll quite often go, let's go! In fact, I was talking to Jake Smith the other night, and I actually said to him, he couldn't guess what game I was doing, so I just went, let's go! And he got it straight away. And that's how iconic Lemmings is. Next week's game, we're going to stay on the Amiga. It's an 80s game. I don't think there's any music for it off the top of my head. So I'm going to break with tradition, and I'm going to tell you what it is. I'm going to have a look at the original SimCity next week. Because, well, as my brother would say, dude, SimCity. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please go and check out my channel. Links in the description. I'll be posting the full game footage of Lemmings. And hope to see you next week. So take care. See you soon. Bye. And don't forget, if you haven't already, press the subscribe button so you can get notifications and whatnot about our latest videos. And if you've already done that, you're not off the hook. Down there, that thumbs up thing, give it a press, give us a thumbs up, you know you want to. And also, leave a comment, start a discussion, tell us what you think, tell us if we've got anything wrong. Because it's not us that's wrong, it'll be you that's wrong, but, it's a free country, you can say what you want. Bye.